Thank you so much. It's such a thrill and an honor to be here, privilege, because as an architect, you don't often get a chance to work with people you really love to work with. And much has been said about the team, but it's all true. You know, when I met Bill Butler and the team, I knew that I was involved with people who truly care about cities, they care about buildings, they care about the details, they care about life. And I think that's the biggest privilege for an architect, to be involved with people who truly care, for whom architecture is not just a business or just an object in space, but it's something really truly which is part of people's lives. And I have to say that when I first heard those words, Covington, Kentucky, will you come here? I had a deep connection to the site. Many people don't know that I spent the 3 years of our first, when we first got married, right here in this region of northern Kentucky. I was actually an assistant professor of architecture at the University of Kentucky in Lexington. And we used to come up every weekend to Cincinnati, across the bridge, walk down this area and admire its beauty. And then when I had a chance to come back, and I saw the development and the potential and the beauty of this area, I was so thrilled, because by that time I had really come to appreciate not only the beauty, the natural beauty, but the man-made beauty of Cincinnati, the skyline, and of course Roebling Bridge, which now, as someone who really sees it out of my window every day in New York, I have come to appreciate as one of the greatest artists in the world. And to have a site so uniquely tying together this southern shore of the greater Cincinnati area, a unique site which is really a kind of crown jewel, or really a destination, a center point that gives a compositional value to the landscape, to the history, to the skyline, to the river. Well, that's what really triggered my inspiration. And I thought, of course, of the river, of the boats, of the river boats. I thought of the light. I thought of the curvature of those cables, which were unprecedented, and still the most lyrical and beautiful melody that can be sung anywhere in the world. And I thought, how does one create a building that incarnates all those elements for people who live there, for people who are on the street, for people who are in the neighborhood, and for people who have the privilege then to occupy one of these places. And one of the challenges was to create a building that isn't just a nice shape from the outside, that isn't just a dramatic photograph, but that has those qualities in time, so that every unit, every place, every window is unique. Every plan is unique. Every plan has a vista that is not just one-sided but multifaceted, and that every time someone is in the vicinity of this building, they feel the energy and the cultural and historical energy, and of course the kind of divine beauty of this site. And really, you don't have to say much, but when you look at this site, you realize that the response to the site cannot be just one-dimensional. One has to think beyond the box. One has to go outside of the limitations and really connect with nature, connect with what is out there, and connect also, I think, with the inner heart of someone who is going to be part of this space, which is not just a unit, an abstraction, but really a home, a permanent place which has to function as an inspiring place throughout the years for the family and for every member that will be there and spend their time there. So really the building is an expression of this area. It's an expression also of the love that I have for this place, and also the love for the people that I work with on this project. And I know it's a word not often used, because it's not, it sounds maybe too sentimental, but it's true. I think everything good that is produced in the world is produced through that quality. You either are in love with a site, you're in love with its uniqueness. Therefore, you cannot just treat it like a commodity, do something on it that could be done in any other place. You have to do something that grows out of the roots of that place. And I think that's the relationship with the site, relationship with the people you work with. And it's an evolution. It's a development. You don't just start with a picture, end with a picture. You have to start with a vision, with a community, with the emotion. And then, of course, as time goes on, embody it in every element of the building. And by every element, I mean every detail of the building, the way a door opens, the way a window opens, the color of the building, how is it related to the bridge, to the colors of the support structure, how is it related to the greenery and the vistas that are very different to the north and to the south. So that has been really the core of the project, and I have to say that it's been a privilege working on it. I think as I travel around the world, and I'm lucky as an architect to have projects in many different places around the world, people ask me, whether I'm in, China, or whether I'm in Europe, or whether I'm in some other place on the West Coast or on the East Coast. People say, "What about that building in Covington? Where is that? We've seen a picture. Tell us more about it." And I think it's true that if you create a building that is meaningful, it does tell a story. It's not just a building. It's a story of the community. It's a story of what has happened there. It's also a story that resonates with the extraordinary nature, the extraordinary input that people have had in this area. And it's not by coincidence that I'm coming back and forth here all the time, because as we were flying from New York, I turned to Nina and I said, this is a place blessed by God, so beautiful. And to have an opportunity to create a building that will enrich the lives of people, that will make life more joyous, that will celebrate life. I think that's really the height of a privilege for an architect, and I hope that in a very short time you will see really the results as they rise out of the ground, and as people can begin to enjoy the pleasures and the dignities and the musical quality, really, of being in a building, being here and living here. Thank you very much.